But coming back to your writing habits, because it sounds like you write when you can, but when
Hmm.
you do get up at that 4 a.m. and you're hitting it right away, do you shoot for a specific word count? What does a successful day look like for you?
Oh, it's different every time. A lot of times, like for instance, right now I'm revising, so I go by chapter to chapter. I look to revise, I would like to revise, and usually I do it by the week so that I give myself that little extra time if I have a day or two that are off for whatever reason because I have other things to do. But like for instance, this week I would like to get 3 chapters revised and rewritten in first person because I'm changing perspective. But when I'm writing, it depends. But this is interesting. I recently needed to get a big word count in. Not recently, I guess this was a few months ago. And Linda Williams Jackson, she wrote a great book called Midnight Without a Moon and a sequel, Sky Full of Stars. She and I have been blogging kind of friends for a long, long time. So she and I challenged ourselves to write 20,000 words in 2 weeks. And I'm not a person who does National Novel Writing Month. I don't speed write usually, but we did daily check. At first, we had goals and we checked in every week, and we realized quickly that wasn't working. So we had daily goals. We were both very serious about it, and we hit our goal. And that was just one of those write as much as you can every day, knowing that by the end of the week, you have to hit 10,000 so that you can hit 20. I think I hit my 20,000 with like 2 days to go. But it's a lot of it is, how writing is a solitary activity, but I really need my critique partners and my friends. It really does help checking in with each other. I think gives you a bit more accountability. But word count, I before that sprint, I usually can't write more than 500 words a day. That would be a very good day for me. How
Yeah,
about
that's
you?
about where I'm at. Yeah, 500 for middle grade, about 1,000 to
Yeah,
1,500 for an adult story.
yeah.
Because middle
But
grade is just more compressed and much harder.
yeah. I've heard of people like on Twitter. I've seen authors like, I just wrote 12,000 words in a day. Like, oh my gosh, my head would explode.
It can be done. I know it can. In fact, we
Yeah.
a few episodes back, we talked with Daniel Kenny, and he gave me the advice that when you need more energy to write, go to a hotel lobby. So I tried it, and he's absolutely right. It was a brilliant idea. I never would have thought of it.
Really?
Oh yeah, because I've gone to coffee shops. I like a nice quiet coffee shop, but you drink through 2 pots and there's it's enough coffee.
Yeah.
What he does is will schedule. He doesn't write every day because he has a family to take care of as well. He will go to a Starbucks for several hours, take a little break, go to another coffee shop for several hours, and then finish up when he needs that energy in a hotel lobby. Because nobody ever asks why you're there. They assume you're staying in one of the rooms, and there's always people coming in and out and around, and there's free Wi-Fi, and you just get energized. And I know where several hotels are, and I went and I sat there, and by God, he's right. There were enough people coming in
Really?
and out that there was
It
some
wasn't
energy
it
to keep
wasn't
them
a
going.
distraction? It wasn't a distraction having people come in and out? Okay.
No, because I always toss on the earbuds, and
Okay.
Spotify mocks me at the end of every year. They show me the songs that were most listened to, and I can always tell what book I was writing on because I pick a
Oh,
theme
that's
song
funny.
for every book, and there's like
Oh, I love
I put
that.
a little playlist like 10 songs or so that put me in the mood of this specific book. So like for this last year with working on Banneker 2 and 3. It's been a lot of the Dark Knight soundtrack, lots of movie soundtracks, and
Okay.
it's got words. I need to know the words enough to block them out because I'm not really
Right.
looking to hear the music. I'm just looking for something to block out the world. But
Hmm.
with that going on, even with the hotel lobby, you can still feel the people coming in and out. And you look very industrious, I find, if you're sitting there typing away
Oh,
while
I'm
they're
sure. I'm
coming in and
sure.
out.
No one's going to come and bother you.
But do not bother me. I'm very important and working
Yes.
on something
Yeah.
crucial.
Yeah. Anyone gets near you, you just have a little furrow in your brow and look at the screen. So they kind of back off.
I hum even when I'm in public, and I shouldn't. It's a characteristic that Banneker has because I have it.
Yeah.
And if I'm really focused on something, and it doesn't sound like a song, it just sounds like but I can hear the song. It's just my little wall of sound that says, "No world, go away. I need to focus at this moment.
You just sound like you're in deep meditation, and you're doing what you need to do to concentrate. And I've found myself singing to myself before. It's embarrassing. The worst in terms of like talking to yourself in public, things like that, is when I'm at the grocery store. The very few times when I'm there without my kids, and I'll be there with my cart and say, "Come on, ladies." People listen to it, like, all right, girls, come on. People are staring at me. There's no one with me. And I'm like, I usually have my kids with me. I'm sorry.
I don't get so much in trouble if somebody sees me writing. It's pretty boring. You'll hear me humming. You'll see me focused. But if I'm best time to write, I find is a nice long walk. So if I go out and I'm walking and I'm thinking through what the characters are saying, occasionally I'll just say their lines for them and I'll hear them in my head. And you'll think I'm a crazy person if you see me out there talking. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the characters. You just can't see them.
Oh, I'll do that like in the car if, I'll have one of the kids put like the camera on just as in black, so it's recording me, and then just put the phone up beside me, and I'll like say pieces of dialogue, or like, and then when she goes in, like in the house, there has to be like a red boot there, like, and occasionally I'll be so desperate that I'll be in public and I'll be like trying to whisper to myself into my phone so that I can later go through. I've got all these like videos on my phone that are just blank screen of me like whispering stuff, like lines. Yeah, but it's a great way.
Writers are strange. I don't know where they get that impression.
No, I think it's a great tool, because it's a great way. If I don't have anything to write with, I can just, if you want to, how quickly thoughts slip away and how quickly like dialogue slips away, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's what he says, and just get it down so you don't have to worry about it. And then, when you're writing later, you just press play, type it in, press play, say, what was I thinking? Delete, go through it.
I do. This is a terrible thing to say when you host a podcast, but I do wonder sometimes, because I try to get in audiobooks if I'm in the kitchen, or if I'm dusting or whatever I'm doing around the house. If I'm doing yard work, it's audiobook time. But I do wonder sometimes if I'm robbing myself of story ideas that might come. Maybe I could have got the Becky Thatcher idea, but instead of paying attention to what the ideas that were coming about, I was listening to a podcast and blocking out the ideas. So this will be the last episode of the Middle Grade Ninja podcast. I have just confirmed that you should never listen to podcasts. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Oh, bad marketing. Bad
marketing. Terrible marketing. But it is something that I wonder about. And there are perfectly good times to be listening to things, but I almost wonder, and this is just me personally, if I'm too busy and not doing crucial things other than just taking in input, being entertained on a regular basis, rather than allowing myself to be completely present in the moment and thinking of thoughts that might occur to me if I weren't listening to people jabbering away in my headphones.
Maybe. I mean, there's also the argument that you might get a great idea from listening to something. So I don't know. You could try going a week without it and see if you get any ideas. I don't know. There's some. I don't listen to audiobooks or podcasts usually when I'm like doing stuff, like just because I have to have like an ear out in case anybody needs me. But that's one thing that I really wish that I found a way to make more time for, things like podcasts. And, I could be listening to them, when I do certain tasks, when the kids are asleep, or I don't know. I don't exercise right now. So I was going to say when I go running, but that would be a lie. I haven't gone running in like a year.
Well, it would suck up writing time.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously. Like, do I maintain my physical body so I can live longer, or do I get those pages in that may or may not go anywhere? I'm going for the pages every time.
Theoretically, once you're in literature, your work will live on forever. So
there you go. Exactly. Who needs a body? Yep.
I'm not here, but in a way I am. This novel exists.
There you go. Yep.